There's a discipline that makes people uncomfortable, not because you're loud, but because you keep showing up. When everyone else quietly gives up, you wake up on time. You do what you said you would do, repeating it daily. First, people call it motivation. Later, obsession. But what if that's exactly the point? What if the secret to consistency has nothing to do with motivation? Raphael seemed to have everything. Smart, capable, full of ideas. He had goals, plans, and dreams that could take him far. But one problem followed him. He couldn't stay consistent. Every new habit began with excitement, feeling powerful. The second day promising, but by the fourth, excuses crept in. By week's end, everything was gone. Nothing lasted. Working out, reading, waking early, journaling all failed. Every Sunday night he'd promised this time will be different, but tomorrow kept turning into another failure. He started to lose trust in himself. One evening, after another broken promise, he asked himself, "Why do I keep quitting on myself?" That question stayed, forcing him to see something he avoided. His problem wasn't not knowing what to do. It was giving himself the option to decide again every day. Every morning, his mind negotiated. Maybe later, not today. And every time he entered that conversation, he lost. That was the moment everything began to change. Consistency doesn't grow where decisions are debated. It grows where the decision is already made. Instead of, he shared it with others. Quitting was no longer private. It had weight. It had consequences. Then he did something even more important. He chose a fixed time. Every day at 5 o'clock in the morning. Not magical, but certain. When time keeps changing, excuses find a way in. But when time is fixed, the decision is already made. The first few mornings were difficult. His body resisted. His mind complained, trying to convince him to miss a day. But this time he didn't argue. He simply moved. No overthinking, no discussions, just action. Soon, he noticed another problem. Even with a fixed time, he kept changing what he did. His mind tried to control the routine itself. That's when he made another change. He simplified everything. Every single day, he followed the exact same routine. A few push-ups, a few minutes of silence, a few minutes of reading. Same order, same structure, no variation. It felt boring at first, almost too simple to matter. But slowly, something powerful began to happen. His body started moving before his mind could interfere. The routine became automatic. Weeks passed and the struggle started to fade. He no longer needed motivation. He no longer needed to feel inspired. He just showed up. But life tested him, like it tests everyone. There were days when he was tired, sick, or his schedule disrupted. In the past, those days would have ended everything. One missed day would turn into two, then a full reset. But this time, he followed a new rule. Never allow a gap. If he couldn't do everything, he did something small. If sick, he reduced the effort. If traveling, he adapted. If no time, he did the shortest version possible. The goal was no longer perfection. The goal was continuity. That single idea changed everything. Consistency isn't destroyed by difficulty. It's destroyed by interruption. Even the smallest action kept the chain alive. It reminded him of who he was becoming. He stopped asking, "How much can I do today?" and started asking, "How do I not break the chain today?" That question made him stronger than motivation ever could. Over time, the results became visible. He felt sharper, calmer, more in control. Not because life became easy, but because he stopped depending on feelings. He started depending on what he had decided. By 90 days, something had completely changed. It wasn't just his routine, it was his identity. He was no longer the person who kept starting over, he was someone who continued. People around him noticed, some admired him, some questioned him, some even felt uncomfortable. They said he was too serious, too intense, too disciplined. But Raphael understood something they didn't. Discipline always looks extreme to people used to quitting, because when you stay consistent, you expose their excuses. And that's the truth most people avoid. Consistency isn't about finding the perfect method or mood. It's about removing the option to quit, deciding once, then showing up again and again, no matter how you feel. Raphael didn't become successful overnight, but he became something far more powerful. He became someone who could trust himself. And in the end, that is the real victory. The life you want isn't built in one big moment of motivation. It's built quietly through small promises kept every single day. No drama, no excuses, no gaps. That is how ordinary people become unstoppable.